Hello, everyone. Welcome to Virtual Open House. My name is Miss Haney, and Mr. Worm and myself will be your child's English 8 teachers. So we just wanted to start off by saying we're super thrilled to have your child as a student this year. Most of them, this is my second time with them. I also had them in 7th grade English. It's definitely going to be a different type of year, but I think it'll be a worthwhile one. We're going to learn, we're going to grow. There's going to be some obstacles for us to overcome, but we're going to do it together, and I'm really looking forward to this year. So just a little bit about us. For myself, I have a bachelor's degree in American Literature from UCLA. I also have a master's degree in English education from Mercy College with dual certification in both English and special education. And I personally teach 7th grade and 8th grade English at the middle school. Mr. Worm holds a bachelor's degree from Stony Brook and a master's from Dowling. He's triple certified in English, special education, and teaching English as a second language. And he's a special education teacher in the middle school for both 7th and 8th grade English and social studies. So what should students be able to do by the end of 8th grade English? This is a question that we get a lot. And really, I have some bullet points here. But the big picture is that they should be able to read and analyze both fictional texts, made-up stories, and informational texts, accurate nonfiction stories. They'll be reading whether it's newspaper articles, short stories, long novels. They should be able to read and identify key elements in each of those texts. We're also going to be focusing on analyzing arguments, whether written or verbal arguments, being able to cite evidence to support our answers, and being able to write a well-constructed expository essay, really focusing on those skills of presenting information not only verbally, but also in writing. So how is this class addressing potential learning deficits created by the closure last year? We're going to do a couple of things. First, we're going to reteach and practice core curriculum from the previous year. Assuming that students didn't garner the same amount of education, the same level of intense instruction that they would have, we're going to reteach a lot of that curriculum. We're also going to adjust the pacing of lessons. If we notice that students really are struggling or they're not understanding a specific concept, we will, of course, adjust and accommodate for that. We do provide extra help hours on Mondays from 10 to 10:30 a.m. Every Monday, except for federal holidays. And we really recommend students showing up because it's a great opportunity to touch base and make sure nothing's slipping through the cracks. And then we also administer daily bell ringer assessments to identify learning gaps. These are quick little 4 to 5 question quizzes that go over the concepts from the previous day. So this way we can see who's understanding and who's still struggling with things that we're learning in class. So for hybrid learning, we'll go over this in some detail just for any questions that we still may have about the structure of hybrid learning. Students are broken into 2 groups, purple and white groups. Fully remote, students are also designated either a purple or a white group. For hybrid students, purple comes in on Tuesdays and they come into the building on Thursdays. A white group comes in on Wednesdays and they come into the building on Fridays. So for students who are at home, when they're participating from home, students are logging into live Google Meet sessions following their normal bell schedule. So whenever third period would normally start if they were in the building, that's when they're going to be signing into their Google Meet. The link to the Google Meets are posted in Google Classroom under the Classwork tab, and it should also pop up under their Google Calendar. So I'm going to show you exactly where you can find it in Google Classroom. If you go into your child's Google Classroom account, under the Classwork tab, right here at the very top, there's a button called Remote Instruction Google Meet Link. If they click on it and then click on the link. That will take them to the live stream of the class. This is always the link that we use for class on Tuesdays through Fridays. The only other link that we would use would be for extra help on Mondays, which I post to the stream. But in terms of class time, following the bell schedule, they're always going to use this link right here. It's at the very top. It doesn't move of the Google Classroom classwork tab. Okay, so what do students do on remote Mondays? On Mondays, we'll post an assignment. It'll be a brief assignment that really just provides like background information, or it's an extension of something that we're already doing in class, and they'll complete this activity independently. I will post the instructions for what they're expected to do on the Google Classroom stream. Of course, I also, like we mentioned earlier, we have extra help on Mondays from 10 to 10:30 a.m. And I will post the information about extra help and the link to the Google Meet on Google Classroom. This year, our grading policy is broken into 4 categories. So quizzes, classwork, participation, projects. Quizzes will be worth 25% of the student's grade. There are going to be 4 total quizzes per quarter. Classwork is worth 30% of the student's total grade. There will be 10 total classwork assignments put in the gradebook, 1 per week. Participation is worth 20%. There will be 10 participation grades put in the gradebook, and they will be based on both the completion of the bell ringers at the beginning of the period and attendance to Google Meet. So whether or not the student shows up to their live stream of the Google class and whether they complete the bell ringer for the day. And then last but not least, we will have 1 project per quarter, and this will be worth 25% of the overall grade. Okay, here are just like a couple of sample assignments for a writing assignment that might be posted in Google Classroom, where they'll be expected to write a paragraph, or this is the format for the bell ringer that they will be doing at the beginning of every class period. Okay, we've included here our contact information. We can both be reached by email. We can both be reached by the Remind app. I'll show you the instructions for signing up for Remind here in just a moment. I have a Google Voice number, so if I'm not in my classroom, you can call or text me at this Google Voice number. It's not my actual cell phone number. It's just a purely work number that I've listed below. And then we both can be reached at our classroom number. The extensions are listed there on the slide. Just bear in mind that we are not in our classroom for most of the day because we're moving around classrooms. So we'll check our voicemail at the end of the day, and if you do need to reach out and contact us this way, we'll return your phone call as soon as possible. So there's just 2 more things that I wanted to show you. This is where the bell ringers are located. These are the daily quick little quizzes that count as participation credit. They're also located under the classwork tab. Under teacher contact information, we have a 1 sheet that has all of our contact information listed. And then we also have posted the instructions for signing up for Remind. So you can open this up, and it'll walk you through the process of getting Remind on your phone. I'll send weekly notifications about upcoming deadlines, quizzes, things to be mindful of. And so this is a good way to stay in touch in terms of what's going on in the classroom. And then there's also a third option. You should have received an invitation through Google Classroom to be a student's guardian. If you did not receive that email, please let me know. When you sign up as a student's guardian in Google Classroom, you will get weekly summaries of your child's work. So for instance, for this child, if I was their guardian, they would send me a list of all the missing work from the week and due dates that are upcoming. So I can have a quick snapshot of exactly what is my child missing, what is my child turned in, what does my child have to do in the next coming days. So you should have received an email about becoming a guardian in Google Classroom. If you did not, please let me know. Otherwise, it was nice to